Hi everyone and welcome back to Craft Time after Rhyme Time. If you already watched Miss Nutra's video, you know that the letter is Q. And Q, we are gonna think about queens. And if you're a king out there, then we can be doing this project without the Q. We're gonna think about crowns. Okay, I know that starts with a C and not a Q, but that's why we're talking about queens. And we're gonna be making a paper crown. So all you're gonna need is some paper, some scissors, and glue. And we're gonna make the cutest crown. So go grab your supplies and let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our first paper. We're gonna cut a strip off. This is gonna be for the top part of our crown. This is gonna be for our base. This paper can be any color you want. This will be the color of the crown. So I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna take this paper and we are gonna fold it about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch over, and we're just gonna keep folding it. We're gonna get it nice and strong. We're gonna keep folding it. Once we get here, you can either add some glue or you can tape it. Remember, a little bit of glue goes a long way. I'm actually gonna just rub that in. That way it's nice and even, doesn't ooze out on me. And we're gonna fold. So it's getting nice and strong. We're gonna fold one last time. Now you might have more folds or less folds than me. That's okay. And here we go. So now we have our nice base. This will curve around our head. Now when we go back to this piece, we're gonna fold it in half. And this is where we're gonna draw our design. This is gonna be the center of our crown. So we can make this part as intricate as we want. I'm gonna start right here by drawing a half circle or a half oval. Then we're gonna come here and we're gonna draw a curve coming down. Then we're gonna go up for a point, back down. We're gonna curve out, kind of like a scroll, curve back in, have another curve, and do a big S out. Then we're gonna do a similar scroll here. And this can be as whimsical as you want it to be. Yours doesn't have to look like mine. Now we're gonna come down. We are gonna try to keep this even right here. Dips down, and then we're gonna have it go back up. Now we're gonna cut this out so it's gonna be the same on both sides. So if you want, you can make it bigger, because this I won't have to show. So if I want to make this bigger, that's okay. If I want to bring it in, if I want to make it a little thinner here, you can go ahead and correct it now. I'm going to make that a little bit pointier, make that a little bit rounder. There we go. Now, once you're happy with your shape, we're gonna go ahead and cut it out. And now we can set this aside. Those can turn into flowers if we'd like. We're gonna open up and see what our crown looks like. So there we go. Now, if we don't want this, our pencil lines to show, we just flip it over. And if you don't like it, you want it to look different, you can go ahead, fold it again. If we want the center to be thinner, all we have to do is go in and touch it up. There we go. And now we can take a look, making that center thinner. There we go. I like that even more. So now we're going to be attaching our crown onto our base and adding all of our details. For our circles, we are going to be making spirals. our flowers, we're gonna be making spirals. So I have all this scratch paper and I'm just gonna draw a spiral line, and they can be as big or as small as you want. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna do this spiral a bunch of times, a bunch of different sizes. If you get really good at this, you won't even have to draw the spiral. And we're going to do it as many times as you want. So once we're ready, put away the extra right there, we are going to follow that spiral. Actually, we're going to cut that away. We want it to be rounded right there. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap it so it makes a flower. We're going to keep rolling our paper. You see I'm just wrapping, rolling it around. We're going to be gluing these on to our crown. And if you think it's big enough, you can go ahead. I'm going to cut this part off here. There we go. We have our nice little flower. You need to make sure we put some glue so it doesn't unwrap. And if you're using liquid glue like I am, you have to hold it for a little bit. And then there we go. We can, hold it for longer than I did. We can go ahead and add that to our crown. So let's go ahead and do our next one. And we're going to roll it the same way. Now, if you have some real flowers or some fake flowers, you can go ahead and add those on too. I think it's fun to have some mixed media. There we go. You can let it be a little loose because then it opens up a little bit more. And add glue to that one. So now you can go ahead, and remember I said you can also do it free. So I'm just gonna start by cutting out a roundish shape and going in to make my spiral. Make sure you don't cut it. There we go. And now, there we go. Now you could put glue along the whole way. Depends on how your paper is acting. I'm just spinning it, spinning it. The wider you cut, the bigger your petals are going to be. So there we go. There's my next one. And then one of my favorite things, you could actually do two at one time. I love using old books. This book was falling apart, so I'm giving it new life. Every page has been turned into something. Now I'm going to do two at once. There we go. Be gentle taking them apart. On this one, I'm going to put a little bit of glue as I go so you can see the difference. Going ahead and wrapping it around. I like how that one looks. And I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to add some of that glue along the way. You don't have to do this, it depends. Play with which way works for you and your paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll it the same way. The looser you go, the bigger it'll be. And I'm really liking how this one's turning out. There we go. There is the last of the flowers, and now we can add them on to the crown. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our crown to our base. We're just going to go ahead and center this. You could make this base paper a little bit bigger or smaller depending on how big you need it for your head. Oops. Back. And it's okay for it to dip down below. Do try to make it straight. That's what I'm struggling with right now. There we go. It's okay if extra glue is showing because that'll dry clear. And now I'm going to go ahead and start adding my flowers. And if you have real flowers, you can add those as well. You don't have, these can also go on the side. They don't all have to be going in the same direction. We can even layer them up. And make sure if you're using wet glue, you're letting it dry plenty. I don't like that one to the side anymore, so I'm going to try to raise that up. And there we go. Once it's dry, I can bend it to my head, and I'm quite happy with it. You can always add more all the way down so that way this band doesn't show, and you could add little designs up there if you'd like. We could even play with putting some other flowers down, but I think I like it with just the paper. So I hope you had fun making your crown. I can't wait to see what they look like on everyone. Oh my goodness, I think this looks so cute. I can't wait to see. So remember, if you enjoyed making your crown, go ahead and post a photo of yourself on Facebook and tag Choate Studio as well as the Winfield Public Library. We would love to see them. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more rhyme time and craft time videos. Bye, friends.